thanks for being willing to do this and being willing to help me create content. And also, I'm glad I can be here to help you. I know we met in my case consult group, so I'm glad to see you again.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for setting out the time to have a meeting. Really, really thankful and excited for this meeting today.
Wonderful.
Um,
Good. So tell me where you want to start. What do you need help with? What can I give you guidance on?
so I have about a year and a half left of schooling. Um, First question is advice for psychopharm, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, like advice for learning psychopharm.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in a psych NP program right now, right?
yes.
Yeah, and have you started clinicals yet?
I start clinicals this week actually
Ooh,
of advanced health assessment.
good, good, good. Okay. Clinicals will help. That's one thing. Just like I think that each of your preceptors will have like a different prescribing style. And I think just seeing a couple of people, just like watching like what's their favorite meds, what's kind of like trends of what they like to use. I think that that's a good one, just seeing like kind of real life what people are doing. And just like you might have opposite preceptors. You might have some that were trained like a long time ago, some that are kind of like just been psych NPs for like a couple years. And just see what they do. That's one thing that I think will help a lot. Um, I like the real life application. I feel like that helped me memorize better than like being in a book. Um,
Hmm.
the other thing is I think a good place to start is are you familiar with the Carlat Medication fact books?
Yes, I've heard of them.
I love those. They have an adult one and they have a child one and they have like algorithms in there. So they'll have like, patient has depression and then it'll say like, uncomplicated depression, what meds are kind of first line. And then it'll say like depression with anxiety and then it'll say what meds are first line and then depression with like fatigue or depression with chronic pain or like so it kind of gives you some guidance. It's not the end all be all, obviously, like you'll when you go into practice, you'll obviously like use your critical thinking skills beyond an algorithm, but it's a good place to start. It's very close to how I prescribe.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And the Carlat podcasts are good too. I'm just a big fan. I really like all the stuff they put out.
Yeah, I love their podcast. It's so good.
Yeah,
I, I listen to it here and there.
me too. I
Um,
like that it's short. Like I like that it's like 20 minutes. I could just be like driving to a workout class, and listen to a whole episode.
I know you touched on this topic of when to start a private practice, like mostly when's comfortable for you. I see myself starting very soon after I graduate. What tips do you have for starting soon after graduation?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, First of all, I think it can be done. I think that a lot of people are negative about that. Like, I just say like, first of all, don't listen to other people because a lot of people are going to say, oh, you need 10 years, you need 5 years experience, you need this, you need that. But the reality is you can build your private practice to be new grad friendly. And so if you're wanting to start soon after graduation, one thing that I really think can be incredibly helpful is starting another job, like a part-time job, 2 days a week or something like that somewhere. And then you'll have, coworkers, you'll have people to ask questions of even about your practice, like, like if you have if you have a patient you want to run by your coworkers, you could run it by your people that you're working with. And so I love that. I think that that could be incredibly helpful. So that way you have some income. You won't have to work bedside anymore. You could, I was checking like my private practice emails and stuff in between patients, even at my other job. Um, I think that then you can get some experience as you build your practice, which I think is kind of the best situation. Because if your end game is private practice, it's like you don't need to, you know, put in your time, like a bunch, like you can learn as you go. And then building support in your private practice. So I know Florida, are you wanting to start it in Florida?
See, that's what I'm not sure about. I would prefer an independent practice state. Um,
Yeah.
that would be my goal.
Okay, great.
So I'm gonna maybe look around and see what my options are. So unsure,
That's
tentatively,
okay. That's okay. Yeah. So I'll kind
but
of say like my thoughts on like making it new grad friendly wherever you are. So like if you were in Florida, you would have a collaborating physician, right? So you'd be basically paying for someone to run cases by, right? If you're in an independent state and you're a new grad, I would recommend being a part of some type of case consult, community, like some type of support that you can get while you are um somewhere you can run cases by. If your other job is really supportive and you can run cases by them, cool. Um, Sometimes that isn't always possible, maybe like one or two cases, but if you need more support than that, I'd say like, join a group. Um, my group with Kirby or like Dr. Lindsay has one or, like there's a lot of different options luckily on Instagram. Um,
yes.
but yeah, so I think, we could help you or Dr. Lindsay's incredible. She could help you too. So one of those groups, we can really help you while you're seeing your first patients. And then I would say take it slow. So the beautiful thing about private practice is it's not going to be like a job where you show up and you have like 20 patients on the first day. Like that's what makes it new grad friendly is like, you'll get like one patient, one patient, one patient. Like if you take insurance, you'll probably get, your first month might be like 4 to 10 patients. If you take cash, your first month might be like one patient, and then
Okay.
you just take simple patients in the beginning, like anxiety, depression, ADHD, it doesn't even have to be ADHD, like anxiety and depression, super simple. Just take patients that call for that. So take simple cases, have support, start slow. Um, Run all your if you start slow you have the benefit of being able to run all your cases by someone. If you have one patient a month you can like study the heck out of how to help them. It's
Yes.
very new grad friendly to have something like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also big shout out to your new group with Kirby. That's so exciting.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
know. I'm so happy that we decided to join forces. I think we're better together than we could, than I can't speak for her, but better together than I could be on my own. She's just like, she's incredible and I feel like we could provide more. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So when were you able to start paying yourself
Yeah,
with
good
private practice?
question. I started breaking even around month 3. So
Okay.
that means like in the first 3 months, I was like using my own money to fund the practice. And then month 3, it was like break even, just it was paying for itself to run. And then around like between month 3 to 6, I was able to pay myself. And then it just grew what I was able to pay myself more and more.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Um, how much did you initially invest?
Uh, about 10K I initially
Okay.
invested. And that's in the most expensive, most restrictive state. Um, I paid 5,000 of that was in legal advice.
Whoa.
Yeah, and having a lawyer help me set up and to be compliant with all of the complications of having a practice as an NP in California. So half of that was legal advice. So that would probably not be happening in an independent state.
Mhm.
Um, and that was over time. So my lawyer had me pay half up front, and then she both gave me legal advice and she actually like incorporated my business for me. So I paid the other half after I was incorporated, which was like 4 months later. Um,
Okay.
And so the
Okay.
money, it was like 2,500 and then 4 months, 2,500. And then it was like slowly like over time putting money in. Like I remember my malpractice the first year was 3,000. So malpractice is expensive. Um, and then the rest was just like, so that now we're at 8,000 if it's the 5 and then the 3, those were the 2 most expensive things. And malpractice you have to have. I think there's some malpractice where they give like a big discount to new grads actually if you're in your first year.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
and then the other money was just it all, it kind of made sense. Like it was like, oh, I'm going to pay for my EHR. Oh, I'm going to pay for a new computer. Oh, I'm going to pay for this. Like oh, I'm going to get a fax number. Oh, I'm going to get a phone. Like it was just like that last couple thousand was like random little things that you need. Like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that was what I invested initially. And yeah, it definitely made that money back. But that was what I had put in of my own money and savings into starting my business.
All right. Not too bad. Yeah, especially given being in the most restrictive state. So it gives me some hope. Would you
Yeah,
say?
some states might argue. Texas might say, no, we're more restrictive. The Carolinas, I think, have told me, no, we're we're more restrictive. So I think but so other states, I guess, are close. What were you gonna say? Sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I love the conversation. In your experience, what has been the best EHR that you use or use?
Yeah, I love intake queue. And everyone kind of looks at it a bit different. So I like intake queue because it is like fully customizable. So I would rather put in the work in the beginning to make it how I like. Um, and then it's just like good to go. Other people kind of like to purchase like the bells and whistles where like the EHR kind of has things set up already, but I don't really like that because then if you buy something that's like set up, then you can't like change things. Like I'm always like annoyed with
Okay.
something and I'm like, oh, I want to change that or I want to customize that. So intake queue is fully customizable. And then I teach in my course like how to customize it to the way that I did it.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have an on-call phone? Like, how do you allow patients to contact you after hours or?
That's such a good question. I don't. Um, I do have a phone. So I have a phone, like I have a work cell, that is separate from my personal cell. And I have patients contact me on a patient portal. I have the work cell because, for a number of reasons, it's good to have a cell phone, a business phone, to put on the website or for a number of reasons. But I don't like if patients call me, I don't, I don't actually ever answer it. I just will check the voicemails.
Okay.
But I don't answer after hours and I don't always just like pick up the phone because I don't really have the capacity to kind of answer phone calls. But I do have a patient portal and they can message me anytime, any time of the day, middle of the night, whatever, but I answer between the hours of 9 to 5. So usually what that means is
Okay.
like this morning I already checked it and cleared out my messages and then I'll probably check it before the day's up. I'll check it again at like 3 or 4, clear the messages out and then that's it. So they usually will ask about
Okay.
medications or side effects or, and if there's something really concerning, then I'll call them. Like I had a patient that accidentally took her medication twice and she was like really worried. I knew she was going to be okay, but I called her and I was like, let's do a 5-minute phone call and, I'll tell you like, what I think. And I told her, you're going to be okay. And
Good.
for that, I'll do like a phone call. But most of the time, if something's going on, I'll tell them like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like I'll book, my schedule's not packed. I don't like having a packed life, a packed schedule. I used to do that. I've let it go.
Yeah.
And so I'll just tell them, oh, I can see you tomorrow or the next day, or if it's Friday, I'll see you Monday. You know, I can get them in for quick appointments if there's something really concerning that they want to talk to me about. But
Mm,
most of the things aren't urgent. You know, if it's urgent, then I tell them to go to urgent care.
yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. Would you say that Instagram is pivotal to your business?
Oh, such a good question. It is for my online mentorship business. I think it's so, so helpful with like, you know, outreach to you guys, to like, you know, nurse practitioners, psychiatric nurses. It is definitely pivotal to my course and content creation, but I actually don't have an Instagram for my practice, which I've thought about. Maybe I should, like, you know, I have rooted mentorship, but maybe I should have like a rooted psychiatry page, just putting like who I see, um, you know, announcements like I'm gonna launch, we're gonna do virtual sound baths soon, just announcing stuff like that.
Oh my God,
So
yes.
fun, right? I'll announce it on my mentorship page for sure. I just love like offerings like that. I want to like do more of that, and then I'll probably launch, I'm learning how to drum right now, so probably going to launch some drumming meditations
Yes.
classes too. It's super fun, right? So I feel like I feel like that kind of thing might be good to have a practice page for people that want to know more about the private practice. So it hasn't been pivotal to me getting patients, but I think it could help. Like I know a lot of my mentees have them for their private practice. So uh yeah, I'm thinking about creating one. I think you're inspiring me. Maybe I'll create one today.
Me, instant follow. I'm instantly following that.
Thank you.
That's next level. I love that. Oh my God, offering sound baths. I love that. Actually, so I do sound baths and I'm getting certified in breath work.
What?
So yeah, you'll see some of those offerings. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, oh my gosh, I want to hear about that. So, um, the person that I like, well, she's my marketing person and she loves doing sound baths and she's like, "Can I offer this in your practice?" I was like, "Yes." Oh my
Oh,
gosh, my patients would love
good.
it and my mentees would love it and like everyone's gonna love it. And so she is self-taught. I'm curious, like, did you take a class? Are you self-taught on how to do that?
So I'm self-taught mostly, and I have a friend who owns a yoga studio, and she teaches me some skills with that as well.
Oh,
So she does like certifying in like energy healing and meditation and like sound baths and stuff like that. So
beautiful.
learning from her and self-taught.
That's beautiful. That's going to be like so amazing when you open your practice, like teaching breath work or teaching patients one-on-one or in a group, or wow, you have really cool skills
Yes,
outside of
yes.
the usual skills that we learn, right?
hmm
It's cool.
and how did you determine your rates?
My rates. Yeah, good question. Originally I went with like I researched the area to see like if I was a patient, you know, checking rates in the area. And originally, I went much cheaper than everyone in the area, and that was not a good idea. Um, I thought that would get me more patients and that would, you know, help or something, but I actually had a lot of people asking me why my rates were lower. Like they were like, "Why?" Like basically like, "What's wrong with you?" Or, you know, like, "Why are
Oh
you?"
my goodness.
Yeah, like you know, if you don't charge your worth, people are kind of like, why? Like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
cheaper? And I didn't really have an answer for that other than I said, oh, I'm a newer business, you know. And then I had a lot of people trying to haggle with me, like,
Mm,
can't you make it like cheaper for me? Like I had a lot of people, like just people I think that were not respectful, you know, of my
mhm.
rates and my work. So then I increased the rates and I went to the average. And I got a lot of patients at that rate. Like when I was at the average, that was the best. Like a lot of patients, like not really a lot of haggling, you know, it went really well. And then now I charge like like on the high end for Los Angeles area. There's definitely people that charge more than me. But I'm on the higher end for LA. And I decided to do that because I didn't want to see that many patients. I was like ready to kind of see less. And so I felt like kind of my time was worth more because I was pretty full already. Um, and I wanted to kind of slow down the amount of people that were coming in the door. And if I didn't really want to see that many new patients, and if I did see new patients, I was like, what would I want to be paid if I'm gonna like see more people?
Yeah,
So I went on the higher end for kind of a strategic reason. And just because I feel like I also offer things now that are very unique. Like I think that it
yeah,
makes sense that I would charge more because I offer like nutritional testing, cortisol testing, integrative psychiatry, supplementation. Like it is truly more than your usual. So I also felt that my worth was going up as I was acquiring more skills.
absolutely. You are next level. Your practice is next level.
Thank you. It seems like it's like we're gonna do very similar things. Like it really seems like
Absolutely.
we're kind of in
Absolutely.
line like with the holistic stuff. I feel like you're gonna probably
Yes,
be pretty similar to me.
yes. I'm inspired. Definitely. I see myself having a lot of holistic offerings and doing like integrative psychiatry. That's what I want to do.
I
Yeah.
can see it. You're like, not only are you already acquiring those skills that you can do in your practice right now, you're very peaceful. Like you're like
Thank
when
you.
I
Thank
talk to you, I
you.
feel very calm. You know, I'm sure you've been told that before.
Actually, it's so surprising. People have told me that, and I'm like, really? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your what's your birthday? What's your sign? I have to know.
I'm a I'm an Aquarius. So
Ooh,
January 27th.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aquarius. So yeah, I love Aquariuses. They're so like unique and like one of my best friends is an Aquarius and she's like into aliens and she's like
Well, yes.
she's just weird and just like but loving and peaceful and like just she's great. She's like she's an amazing performer and yeah, just Aquariuses are really you guys are fun. Yeah. I'm
I
a
love that.
Pisces.
I'm definitely a Pisces. Really? Oh my God. I love Pisces. My best friend is a Pisces, actually.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're very like head
Yes.
in the clouds. What other questions do you have for me?
Those are all my major questions.
Perfect.
You
Good.
hit it all.
I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to answer those for you. So tell me about like your next steps. So you're gonna you'll graduate from are you going like in person or online school right now?
I'm online. I'm at Maryville
Perfect.
University.
Yeah. So you're online and then you're working inpatient, right? At the same time.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I did
I work
too.
with kids and adults.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. So you're doing that. You'll do that for another year and a half. And then you graduate when? Like December of 25, 26,
25.
25. Yep. December of 25. Yeah. Nice. Good. Well, good luck. I know we're going to keep in contact.
Thank you.
We always do.
Yes, definitely.
We always do. Awesome. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. And it was good to talk to you today. Let me know if you have any other questions. And thank you so much for doing this with me today.